Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. I'm your host, Buffalo Trace, and tonight we'll kick off Division One's Week 7 action here in Spain. We're midway here through the sixth season at ZRL. First time here racing the new layout in Barcelona with the revamped Turn 10, making its debut, of course, early in the 2022 F1 season. 16 turns requiring quite a bit of downforce, actually, especially for drivers here looking to hope that take that uphill turn 9 flat out. Today, I'm joined in the booth by Nathan Doan, filling in, of course, for John Ranger. Nathan, a lot of storylines going on. What are you looking out for in the race tonight?
Right now, I'm looking between the constructors' battle of Aston Martin and Red Bull. Aston Martin is 4 points behind Red Bull right now. I think the two pairing of Aaron Altmaier and Maxime Bolio will have a great race. That's at least what I'm thinking will happen, and they will be able to take this lead back from Red Bull. Hudson Poole in the lead of the standings, 147 points, very clear of Aaron Altmaier in second. I believe that's 39 points clear actually. So should be should be right here an easy race for Hudson based off just standings alone, but that's what I'm going to keep my eye on.
Yeah, Mercedes out early, McLaren out early. I think they're going to be our first drivers on track. A couple guys stayed in the pits a little bit longer. I wonder when we get that weather report, Nathan, if we're going to see maybe some rain in the race. But we're on with Eric McNerney, of course. He's on his outlap. A little bit of changes in the lineup now. Major Castleman is now full-time Mercedes driver here for D1, as well as Lewis Piper, of course, reserving last week. Strong P2 in Monaco. He's going to take over the full-time seat at Ferrari. So a couple lineup changes here.
Yes, I mean expected for Major Castleman to come back to Mercedes after leaving the academy last season, I believe it was. Came from Haas, now in Mercedes, in place of I believe it was Luca Marodius, and Lewis Piper also expected to be here in place of Dago, and hopefully he'll be able to put in the same results that we saw from Dago early on in the season.
Yeah, Eric McNerney, actually, now that I think of it, I believe he's a reserve because I saw him race in D2 last night. I think it's Carl Behrens, right? Carl, I believe, is done for the season, and Eric is filling in at least this week, so we could be looking for another full-time McLaren driver in D1.
Yes, and also the other McLaren is filled in with reserve from the Alpine Academy, so half points there, I
Oh,
believe it
right,
is.
yeah.
And Colin Edwards filling in for McLaren.
Yeah,
We
get
have
this.
Eric McNerney on the lap right now.
He's on the lap right now. He comes into the hard turn 1, take as much curb as you can, get about half the car there. You can lose or gain a lot of time here in turns 1, 2, and 3. Of course, 3, this long, sweeping right-hander that really culminates all of Sector 1. It's really the only time where you need lower-ish downforce, of course, is on the straight. Surprisingly, I kind of alluded to it in the intro, you need quite high downforce here to keep strong lap times, especially we see Eric coming into it now as he approaches turns 6, 7, and 8. But that uphill right-hander, let's get the TV pod cam, see if he can take that flat out, and he lifts a little bit here. He goes from 6th to 7th. I wonder if we're going to see some D1 guys take this one flat.
Yeah, I mean, depending on your downforce setup, then yes, of course, you'll be able to take that turn flat out. But lifting a little bit, I'd say, is maybe even faster than going for a high downforce setup just to take that corner flat out itself. Coming through a bit of traffic is Eric McNerney through this final sector, but it shouldn't block him too much. See what he can do to the line. Expected time 1:17.3, 1:17.5.
117.5. Yes, Major Castleman beats him by 3
1:17.3.
tenths. He's got provisional pole.
Yes, and more drivers coming across the line here. Jason Pelter goes faster than Eric McNerney for P2. Who else is across the line now? Is that Haas maybe? Yes, it is, and
Yep,
that's Freddie Razzle. By 2 milliseconds, is on provisional pole.
Freddie Razzle Dazzle up on P1 so far. Freddie now asked me to make a special mention of him that he is washed. Of course, that's only because he's going no racing line this weekend. He's got incredible pace so far in qualifying, 17-1, although I think we'll see a multitude of guys here in the 116s. Quentin K, of course, esports driver extraordinaire from ORL, racing ZRL D1 with a 116.9. Aaron Altmaier split both Alfa Romeos. Michael Bastien in P2, Aaron Altmaier P3, and Era in P4. Era with a really strong performance in Monaco, finished P3 himself, actually, rather. Podium there that was then adjusted for a penalty, but Era showed an incredible pace so far in this first phase of Q1.
Yeah, Kel spun on his lap, so currently in P12. I don't know if he's going for another one because he definitely doesn't have enough fuel to make that happen. But I believe the two-time podium sitter will not be able to do another lap here.
Jason
And
Pelter has
Luke Rock.
invalidated. We were on with him, and let's see, is that Hudson Poole in the Red Bull about to cross the line? What has he got? The 116, 906, 6 thousandths of a second behind Quinton K for provisional pole. He's looking quick out of the onset, Hudson Poole.
Yeah, I mean, before Monaco, I had no idea who this guy was. Maybe it was his first race, Quinton K, but currently on provisional pole, doing a great job for the Williams team. And they need it because they are 9th in the standings, but most of that has come from reserve drivers rather than their full-time lineup.
Yeah, you're right. That's right, Nathan. I forget you were in the booth with us last week. Yeah, ORL Quinton K. The last week was his first race, and he's an esports driver for ORL. So apparently, he was advertised to have similar pace as Hudson Poole, and he has been showing it so far. He looks really good. He looked great in Monaco. So I certainly look for him to kind of stay near the top throughout the duration of this entire session today.
Yeah, Quinton was driving a great race in Monaco. Unfortunate that he got bumped by Luke Locklear, who was our last week's race winner. Luke Locklear, I think he's on his in-lap now, but that is it for the second run. Maybe the first. Actually, no, that's the first run of qualifying. Shortly, all the drivers will be coming out, but right now, coming out is Maxime Miller. He's about to start his lap here.
If you can hop on with Maxime here, see if he's got some pace in that Aston Martin machine of his to try to get up with his teammate Aaron Altmaier in P4.
Yes, currently in P4 on the standings. I want to see if maybe he can reach P4 in this qualifying at least. That's what is expected of him. See if he can jump his teammate for that 4th position. Braking quite late, which is good to cut time around here. Get on the power, very nice and smooth. Lifting just a little bit through this long right-hander, flat out if you have a higher downforce setup. Here down into 4th gear. Get on the power early. Purple sector 1, very great job so far. That's a McLaren on the left, getting out of the way very nicely. 3rd gear, what can he do? Short shift into 4th. Great traction for the Aston Martin driver. Down into this weird left-hander. What does he do? He does it perfectly. Let's see what the sector time is as he takes his right-hander. Not flat out, but that's fine because his lower downforce setup will take him fast across the straight. Set a purple sector 2, at least from the track map, is what I'm seeing. 51.3 is good. Going for this right-hander, just a little bit of braking. 3rd gear, short shift 4th, back into 5th. This long right-hander, not really long, but it is what it is. This small chicane where you can lose the most or gain the most time. What will the time be as he crosses the line in about right now? Good for 6th.
117.1. That looked good. That was a pretty crispy lap that he put in there. He took a lot of curb on that second to last turn and that chicane at the end of Sector 3. Is that typically what you want to do, Nathan, or do you think that slowed him down a bit?
Oh, well, I was banned for qualifying, but every time I took it in time trial, I realized that if I took that curb, it really depended on your setup, because if you have sauce suspension in your front, then you'll be able to take it quite easily, maybe gain a bit of time. But if you have a race setup with a bit higher suspension on the front, a bit bumpier, then it will not really gain you any time. But right now, Eric McNerney on the lap. We'll see what he does. Maybe that will help us understand what kind of setup Eric McNerney is running. What I've realized with Eric is so far that he's taking kind of low gear through here. I don't know. At least I wouldn't downshift into 3rd in, well, most of these turns actually. But a few, I can see where 3rd is over 2nd through that left-hander. I really don't know about that. I'm not really sure if he's on medium or full traction. It looks like he's been quite nice. So, no traction control through here into the chicane. What line does he take? Takes more of the curb
Yeah,
than
he
we
takes a
saw
lot
at
of it.
Maxime.
Ooh, almost lost it a little bit there into turn 16. Got a little loose.
Yeah, he's
Equinuri's
had
going to
over.
improve? No. He must have lost that in Sector 3 because he was 2/10 up going into it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was spectating him, he had lots of oversteer through everyone, but not oversteer for Quinn and K as he sets a time of a 1:16.5. That is
Wow.
about three
Must be
tenths
good.
quicker than Hudson Poole, although he has not set his lap yet.
Eric Carvalho just crossed with a 1:16.692, improved his time by 4 tenths. And he is currently in P2, separated by about a tenth from overall Quinton K. So Eric coming off of Monaco where he ended at P4, saw the podium there. Kind of unfortunate situation where Peter ended up retaining the podium. So Eric's back with a vengeance here. I know that he knew he could have taken it in Monaco, and I'm looking for him to duplicate a podium performance here. So strong P2, his teammate of course in P5, Marc-Louis Bastien. Although it was in P2, Cal now puts up a strong P2 time himself, a 1:16.690, 2,000th better than Era in P3. Hudson Poole, 1:16.9, he's 3 tenths behind. A lot of cars out on track now. And we'll see, I mean, is anyone going to come up quick? I mean, that's almost like that's a 10th difference from Cal there. 1:16.5 seems pretty good.
I mean, Quinn K is clear of so much drivers here. I mean, 1/10 clear of the next, and then from there, it's very tight within the field. We have 7 drivers into the 16s. We only saw, I think it was either 1 or 2 that was in the 16s last night in Division 2. But right now, Hudson Poole is looking to improve his time. He's cutting across the track very quickly, taking the shortest line to every corner that he can get. Take this right-hander, not quite flat out, but lifts very perfectly. How much will he have improved in Sector 2? 1/10. That is not going to be good enough for Poole, but it will be good enough for at least P4. As he takes a bit of an odd line, maybe he lagged a bit and on my
Yeah, it looks
screen,
like a
but
little bit of lag going on with Hudson Poole there. Oh, on
nice
my screen,
line.
he went into the grass. I don't know about you.
Yeah, for me as well, and he crosses the line very soon here. What is the lap time going to be? It's not going to be good enough. It's only good enough for 4th, as I said before.
And then for P4, that'll be interesting. I don't know if it's our connection or Hudson's, but that looked a little off on a couple of occasions there in Sector 3. So let's see who's
Cam
on the line
Bourne.
right now. Yeah, is it Cam?
Yep.
Cam be the next one across the line. He's a 10th better than his time. He's currently in P15 with a 1:17.2. Is he going to get any better? Let's see. 1:17.0. He's P10.
I believe it's Luke Locklear next across the line, unless he's pitting. Yes, he is. Then from there, I believe we have Maxime, who invalidated and spun on his lap. So, actually, wait, no, that's not Maxime. Sorry, it's the washed Freddie Rizal himself.
Invalidated, spun, classic Freddy.
Yep, only Freddie. And let's see, who else is out on track right now? Hudson Poole. He does not have enough fuel for another lap, so this lap time will stand. I wonder if the Aston Martin Maxine is on a lap. No, it looks like maybe he had an error in his previous and backed out, saving the battery now. I don't think he'll have time for another lap. Well, no, not time, sorry, fuel for this next lap here. So
Nathan, I
just
gotta
seeing.
move to an intermission here real quick. My game has crashed, so ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back as I try to get back online and into the lobby here, hopefully for the end of quali. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us, of course. I'm headed back into the lobby now. Nathan, if you want to do a little bit of a radio call until I get my session back in. But my loading is complete, and I'll be watching you guys momentarily.
Yeah, so far only three cars on track. We have a Williams, a McLaren, and an Alfa Romeo. Buffalo Trace's very own Eric Carvalho is about to start his lap, going through Sector 3 on his out lap. Gonna be his last lap of Q3. Not Q3, sorry, just qualifying in general. And here he comes to start his lap. Battery and DRS wide open and deployed into turn 1, blazing down this very long straight. A bit of an elevation change just to power through a bit more. Brakes very late, 5th gear, good enough. Going through turn 2 and turn 3 now, barely lifting, but track evolution is going to let him do that and won't complain at all. And he's not improved really. He's 100th off his previous time. Bit slow through turn 4 as well as he goes down to turn 5, 3rd gear, short shift into 4th. Heavy on the throttle, take a lot of extra grip right there. Going down into turn, I believe this is 8 now. Actually, no, that'd be 7. And into this flat out right-hander, maybe flat out, just barely for Eric Carvalho. Blazing down the straight. Final lap time, final sector 2. He's not up on his time, but only by 3 milliseconds. Is that true? He is 2 milliseconds off the previous, well, the driver ahead of him, and about a tenth, a bit more than P1, going through this final chicane. Will it be good enough? Will the Sector 3 be good enough to get this provisional pole? Cross the line now, and it's not.
He improves a little bit, securing that P2 with a 116.609, but not enough to dethrone ORL Quentin K. So we're back in. Let's see who else is coming across the line. Is that Chase Wilson in the Alpha Tower? You know, it's his teammate Cal who's currently in P3. No, he's starting a heater now. The other Alfa Romeo, Marc-Louis Bastien, he'll cross and he'll start his hot lap right now as well. I'm trying to see who else is about to cross with the time. Luke finishing up a hot lap. Lewis Piper is at a 116.9. He came out late. He just set that 116.9, I think, a couple minutes ago, right? So he's not giving himself a lot of chances to put something good together.
He's on a hot lap right now, though. And we had a lot of traffic in Sector 3 as everyone is crossing the line to start their hot laps. Hopefully it'll all be cleared up as Lewis Piper goes a bit faster. I don't know if that purple sector is true, but that's what I see. 69 right now. He needs to improve 4 tenths. Goes a bit wide for turn 4, probably to set up the faster exit here. Going into this weird left-hander, 5th gear, onto the power early. Through this right-hander is going to be flat out. I don't think so. Just barely, but lifts a little bit. Going down the straight to this time marker. What's it going to be? He's 1/10 clear of his previous time in the 3rd sector. This is all that matters for him in this final lap. Will it be enough to be anywhere close to pole position? Will it be top 5? Cal is pole position at the moment.
Pole.
Still many drivers across the line very, very soon. Mercedes, a Ferrari, going across the line now. Luke Locklear goes to P2. Lewis Piper goes to P5. Then we have a Williams right behind him. It's Marcel Green, does not improve. I believe that's Maxime Beaulieu, does improve, only 1 position. Freddie Razzle across the line next. It is going to be P8. A McLaren of maybe Colin Edwards, that's P15. Eric McNerney next across the line. Mercedes pitting. It's not going to be any improvement for Eric McNerney. And then we have, I believe, that is our very favorite, Hudson Poole in the gravel. The championship leader is in the gravel
no.
at the final corner of his qualifying lap. Even if he was, it does not matter now. At the moment, this is your qualifying result. Cal, pole position, Luke Locklear, P2, Quentin K, P3, Era, P4, Lewis Piper in the Ferrari, 4 P5, Hudson Poole crossing the line now after ruining his lap, P6, Aaron Altmaier in the Mercedes, hunting down Hudson Poole for this championship. Not going to be doing anything from the back, at least right now. Peter Giordano is qualifying banned, so I figured I'd let that by right now. Freddie Razzle in P8, no line, great showing from the Haas driver. The other Alfa Romeo of Marc-Olivier Bastien in P9, and Marcel Green in P10. That rounds out your top 10. I'll give you the bottom 10.
Yeah, of course, it just disappeared from the screen. Now, we're with Jason Pelter. He got P11, as we'll get the rest of the field here when we move to the menu. So, a lot of action coming our way here from Spain. Bottom 11 looking up Jason Pelter, of course, followed by his teammate Cam Bourne. Major Castleman back in Division 1 in the Mercedes seat. P13, Maxim Beaulieu, P14. Colin Edwards, Chase Wilson, Duncan McCamick, Eric McNerney, Oral Hewis, and of course Peter Giordano serving the quality line. Wrap out the field here in Spain. So about 20 seconds to go here. A lot of, man, that last session was pretty quick, right? Quentin kind of had a stranglehold on P1 until everybody going out for their last laps. Cal and Luke Lockley are dethroning him. Cal, has he gotten pole this season? He may have gotten 1 or 2 already.
Believe he has gotten 1, but the top 5 separated by 1/10. That's just crazy to me, honestly. And now the adrenaline is starting to pump. They have all that they need from their final qualifying laps. They're pumped up. They're ready to go. Looks a bit gloomy here.
It does
Traction
look
off
a
the
bit
line
gloomy,
won't be
yeah.
as good as it would be sunny. I wonder, will we see any wet rain today? Of
We
course,
saw some wet rain, as opposed to the dry rain, of course, Nathan. But
yeah,
the mixed conditions in D2 yet last night. So I'm wondering, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping for a little mixed conditions, bring a little extra action here in Spain.
yeah, I'm not sure how much this is to go off of, but I'm seeing some drivers switch to the medium tires. If you look in the pit lane, you can see the color of the tires are going yellow. So I wonder, maybe is that an indication of maybe rain around lap 10, lap 11, something like that. But we will see as 20 seconds to lights out, and I'm just so excited to see this Division 1 race go about. Hopefully, we have a bit of a better race than Division 2, because Division 2 was just kind of destroyed by wet rain and not really any overtaking. I'm hoping that these Division 1 drivers will be able to make all the overtaking happen very soon and very frequently.
Yeah, I want as
So,
much as possible. I'm still waiting here to get in the lobby, Nathan. I don't know if you are, and you can see the field start to line up.
okay, now
Okay,
1
here we
light,
go.
2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and the lights are out. And going into turn 1, it looks like a bit of a tentative start for everyone, but not Luke Locklear. He's side by side through Cal. He's going to be on the inside line down into turn 1. He's going to be going maybe down the inside as he goes onto the grass, at least on my screen. Eric Carvalho down the inside into turn 1. Maybe a bit of ghosting for everyone on this track. Everyone stays clean for the most part, and that's an Alfa Romeo and an Aston Martin, and everyone is happening. And in turn 2, it all happened poorly as we see Duncan McCamick, Aaron Altmaier all going around. Cal goes into P4, a bit of an overtaking happening into turn 3. A lot of stuff happening. I just can't follow it. Cal going down the inside of Quinn and K. Dive bomb. A bit of contact there. Era will get past Cal, but Cal is ghosted. Lewis Piper going down the inside, both ghosted. And he gets just onto the sausage cribs a little bit. And Maxime Boulia has overtaken 2 of them in one corner. The corner that you never see overtaking happen. He made it happen. And so far, more ghosting for the Ferrari of Lewis Piper, going down the inside now of the Haas of Freddie Razzle. That's a crazy overtaking spot. And Cal still on the inside of Lewis Piper. Will he keep this position? It looks like he will, because he will have this inside line into the turn, but Lewis fights it into the chicane, inside line for Lewis Piper, and he gets the overtake done
Ooh.
very clean as the Alpine taps the back of Cal just a little bit. Luke Locklear leads from Hudson Pool, Quinn and K, and is that Eric McNerney who spun around in the final corner? Yes, it is. What a great first lap we've having.
Dude, that chaos, man. I don't know how you were able to follow it and narrate and
Oh,
keep track of
Hudson
all the
Pool
action.
is
Hudson Pool
out.
DNF'd.
Peter
Hudson Pool,
Giordano
Peter
is out of
Giordano,
the
and
session.
Lewis
Cal,
have DNF'd too.
we must have a lobby bug, right?
It
Multiple
might be, yeah.
drivers retiring on track, not from any certain collision that we can tell. Safety
Nathan, if
car now, I believe.
Yeah, Nathan, if you're able to check the paddock here and see if there's any chatter on a new lobby being formed, we currently have 4 DNFs, of course, now 5, 6, so I think that
And
is what
Division
is going
1 is
on here,
restarting.
folks. Division 1 restarting, so folks, stick with us here, of course. You all saw the lag that everybody experienced here as soon as the lights went out, right? So we're going to take a brief intermission, and we will, once the lobby is restarted and ready to go, we'll be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us here. The new lobby is set, the grid is organized, and we are getting ready for Division 1 action coming your way as soon as the game is loaded through. It'll be a dry session today, maximum overtaking. We won't have to worry about any weather, anything like that, as we are predetermined here. So everybody's getting their setup straight, grid getting lined, and we got 30 seconds to countdown. I hope it's just as chaotic, Nathan, but with none of the lag. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm hoping that it's easier for me to commentate rather than last time, but hey, as long as I can deliver the commentary and the fun action to you, then I will do that. It's 10 seconds to the lights. I will be on board with probably Luke Locklear, because he got a great start last time on the hard tire. I'm wondering if he can do the same to jump Cal once again in to the inside line, but I mean, we had just so much going on as 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, and 5 lights. And the lights are out, and away we go. Luke Locklear doesn't get the great start that he had last time. Very, very slow. So is Quentin K, though. Lewis Piper's gaining position. So is Eric Carvalho. Maybe going down the inside. 3 wide into turn 1. Are we going to see that? No, we are not. As Luke Locklear goes down the inside into the lead. Does he keep it against Cal? Yes, he does. As Eric Carvalho is trying to squeeze his way into P2. Cal gets P3 now as he gets demoted, as we have a spinner that is Quentin K. From the top of the table is now all the way down, as so is, oh no, that's the other Mercedes of Major Castleman, Aaron Allmeyer, and also Jason Pelter had a moment earlier on, and still, Luke Luck there leads from Era, from Cal, Lewis Piper, not really much going on, more one-by-one action as we saw before. Cam Bourne getting past Nova into turn, I believe this is 7-6-4, I don't know, I don't care, because we're going down the straight, best overtaking chances for people like Freddie Rizal within 2/10 of Lewis Piper, not good enough on this occasion. Marcel Green, everyone keeping it very nice and tidy. I don't think we have any action going around. But that's Hewis in the Haas. We're going a bit wide, and he's getting forced off now by the McLaren as they make a bit of contact, actually, as well. Not what you want to see on lap 1, but it is what it is. Relatively clean to what we saw last time. Hopefully we don't have as many retirements as Peter Giordano's going around the outside of Duncan McCamick. Has the inside line, backs out of the chicane. And that is your order for now as Nova gets past Cam Bourne again. Cam Bourne will have a great run on Nova, but I don't think he'll be able to maximize it. Goes for the battery now, going down the inside line. Will he be able to take Cam Bourne on the better tires? No, he will not. He stays behind just a little bit longer. Can he get a wider line around the outside? No, he cannot. And that is it. And so far, pretty split up at the top, but we do have Vera trying to challenge Luke Locklear. Not really close at the moment, but on the better tire, and that is crucial to how this race is going to play out. Because if he can overtake and if he can extend this gap, then he will have probably the win in the bag.
Yeah, a lot of action so far. 2 drivers that have struggled. Actually, I'll make it 4 already. Quentin K, of course, caught up, and then Lenson. He's now in P19, down 16 spots. Aaron Altmaier down 10 himself. He's another big loser here so far in P17. Jason Pelter and Major Castleman also losing 7 spots each, respectively. But big winners so far. Couple drivers up 6 spots on the grid as we watch Freddie Rizal try to take P4 from Lewis Piper. He's going down the inside of, I believe, his turn 12. And he'll make it stick. Freddie Rizal taking P4. He's up 4 spots himself. Maxime Beaulieu is up 6. And Oriel Hewis is up 6. They are the biggest winners so far.
And as you'd expect from Fred Rizal, on the better tire than Lewis Piper, I need to get my my telemetry up and everything. As Arrow sets the fastest lap of the race, I don't think he'll be able to do anything into turn 1 here. Marcel Green might be interested in the Alfa Romeo, but is not. And so far, no overtakes happening in this turn 1. A normal case as we see for Spain, but so far, clean race, and that I'd rather have a clean race than a boring one, honestly. And so far, no challenges from Eric Carvalho. I'm waiting to see the Alfa Romeo try and get an overtake, maybe in a DRS zone here. About the same battery, Luke has a bit more, but that's fine right now. I'll look at the tires here. Pretty evenly spread. I'd say we have more hard runners than medium at the moment. These medium runners really need to maximize the positions that they gain at the start here.
They do, yeah.
Go ahead.
They do for sure. I'm on with Era right now, and he definitely wants to make a move on Luke Locklear with those medium tires while they still have life in them, because it's easier to park the bus here, of course, in Spain rather than some other tracks, especially if you have a setup that's kind of optimized for that Sector 1. There's an Alpine around. It looks like that's Jason Pelter, who had another incident into Sector 2 straight. maybe trying to take that hard turn 9 a little bit hot, especially on high fuel. And so he will be bringing up the rear. Let's hop on with Era now. He's approaching the DRS zone on Luke Locklear. We'll hop in with the TV pod cam. Is he going to close the gap enough? He's draining the battery. It looks like he's coming in Thermo to defend. And it's an easy pass for Eric Carvalho, and I believe that's the right call. Luke Locklear rather is going to let him go. And hopefully that tire strategy works in his favor for the Mercedes team. And that's what you got to do if you're on this medium tire strategy, right? That's what Freddie's looking to do. That's what Marcel Green, Maxime Beaulieu, of course. Those guys are already up 3 spots, of course, for Cam Bourne as well. They're trying to make those medium tires work.
Yeah, and we have our first pitter for damage, presumably Jason Pelter into the pits. Not a great race from him. P20 and about 20 seconds behind as well. Luke Locklear still trying to follow. At least if he can keep the DRS, then he should be okay in terms of lap time. And I found that if you are in the DRS, then you have a great chance at having good battery gaining, because if your battery can recharge on this track, that is probably the most important thing that can help you make overtakes in this track. And I'm looking to see a move from maybe Freddie Razzle. He's on the medium tire, car ahead is on the hard tire. He has a clear advantage. He's still close. If he can stay close within this DRS section, then I believe he'll have this move done early. He has much more battery than Cal does. Battery, DRS, wide open. He's going to have this move way done before this braking section here.
Yep, and this is the right decision, of course, right? And then we want Cal's making the right call, just to kind of let it go, not fight it too much. Don't lose a lot of speed defending this position when you're on the alternate tire strategy. So Freddie Razzle up to P3 as he hopes those medium tires can go long and stick with life. Marcel Green was putting a lot of pressure on the Alfa Romeo Marc-Louis Bastien, but I don't think he got enough. He'll look to put pressure again on the Alfa Romeo driver going in the next lap, but he's got to hold off some medium tire runners himself in P8 and P9, and Maxime Beaulieu and Chase Wilson. Or sorry, Maxime Beaulieu and Cam Bourne. Chase Wilson following them in P10. He's on the hard tires.
Yeah, I mean, Cal did a good job of letting Freddie Razzle by, but now Freddie's actually had a big moment of oversteer. Will Cal be able to overtake into this next corner? Not really, because he had a terrible run through that right-hander. And Lewis Piper has actually closed in on Cal massively, so I don't know, it will be up to who has the most guts in this DRS section, because I don't know, maybe Cal will be looking to retake this position, but Lewis Piper is right there to do any taking if it doesn't go well for Cal. As we have a safety car.
It's a safety car. It's another incident for poor Jason Pelter. He loses his wing again, this time in the sweeping right-hander of turn 3. He will be headed back to the pits. So, and there's a collision. There's a collision with Freddie Razzle. Arrow's going into the pits as well. I'm not sure what that is about. Let's hop in with Arrow. See, it doesn't look like he has damage. I'm not sure why.
He's going for hard tires. I think he thinks that he can go to the end.
Maybe he can. So he'll pit now. Another safety car here would bode well for Era. So really interesting strategy call here.
And I have to say, if Era's a gambler, then he definitely goes to Las Vegas a lot, because he's betting big on this strategy here.
Nailed it. Yeah, dude, this is huge. Yeah, it's a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble. This is a track that doesn't really manifest a lot of overtakes, so he's putting a lot of faith in his ability to overtake. Oh, Luke Locklear gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's devastating. That's a devastating blow for the Mercedes driver. And being in P1, he'll have to go the whole lap and then fill it. He's going to lose a ton of track position.
Alright, so that's Eric Carvalho's main threat out of the way pretty much right away. But now, I just can't imagine a scenario where Eric can clear all these cars. I mean, he'll have to either carve through this traffic and wait for everyone to pit, or no, that's really his only option. He has to wait until everyone pits, and that is how he's going to gain these positions, because if he wastes time pitting here, then it might cost him the lead of this race and the win. But right now, I'm really concerned about whether his tires will be able to make it. I know the hards are very, very good around this track. As the fuel goes down in your car, then it's going to be even easier on your tires. But still, is it worth it to pit on lap 6? We will find out as this race continues. So far, all the cars lining up to get to the safety car. Jason Pelter really needs to get a move on, because if he gets past the safety car before the leader does, and he does, Now he will have to do another lap and follow. And if he had not made it before the leader did, there
He'd be
he would
stuck.
have been in major trouble. Yeah.
It would have been a lap down with 27 laps to go. Not where you want to be so early in the race. So interesting state. I guess he's thinking this too, right? So you're 6 laps in, couple laps under safety car, right? Let's say we go green on lap 9. So he's got to go 24 laps on hard tires, and that's doable. It's doable. I don't think he'll be in puncture territory or anything like that. It's just, can he keep his pace up and actually make productive overtakes throughout the duration of the stint?
Yes, what I would do, I wouldn't really push the tires too much, but I'd set a good pace for myself. I'm not really sure what these lap times would be in overcast conditions. Maybe high 121s, maybe mids. But that's what I'd set myself to. I wouldn't definitely be pushing for any 120s because that'd just be crazy hard on your tires. But this is the safety car. Has actually been Jason Pelter's saving grace because before he was 20 seconds back with new tires, so he'd have to pit again. He still does have to pit again because medium tires, there's no way that they're making it to the end of this race.
No, but now he's on the same strategy as some other guys who have. Oh, we see some other that have pit for mediums against. So Hudson Poole and Aaron Allmeyer have also gone in. And Quentin K is on fresh hards too. So maybe the super quick guys, Quentin and Era, know something we don't. Because those are two esports ready drivers that are on the hard tires. So presumably maybe one more lap of safety car remaining. We'll see if Jason Pelter can catch up. But he's on the same strategy. He's got a shot here to at least be competitive. It's early in the race. He didn't get lapped. He can make something of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to see about this drive-through penalty. Dan in the Mercedes garage does say that it was a bug, a Delta bug, but at this moment, there's nothing he can do about it because he does have to serve this penalty. It's not like we can remove the time that he lost here,
Yeah,
and
that's a
that is
difficult
going to
one.
be crucial for the Mercedes fight. I'm gonna check the standings real quick because I do believe they were in pretty good contention for this Division 1 championship, but at the moment, this has set them completely out of contention. And as I took the standings, oh, never mind, they're 8th. A bit, well, alright, well, maybe it's not too big of a blow, but it's
Well,
definitely
Luca
not going
had
to be helping
struggled,
them at all.
right? So Luke Locklear has had incredible pay. Although early in the season he had a couple bad luck, and then Luca struggled a little bit too before relinquishing the seat to Major Castleman. So Duncan McCamick, did he just go out during safety car, or is that just on my screen?
Yeah, he definitely just spun.
Oh, maybe a little. That
He
car got
broke his
back on
wing too.
track. He broke his wing. That car got back on track very quickly.
At the moment, I think we will just have another lap of safety car. Because look at how faster Jason Pelter is compared to Duncan McCamick. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, there's no point in going around with a broken wing. He's slowing
No, that's
down just a
tough.
little bit to force the safety car to not come in.
Which is
Jason Pelter
unfortunate
is
for
trying to
Jason
push him
Pelter.
around.
Is the game gonna let Jason go by him? I don't know.
Well, he'll pit anyway, will Duncan McCamick, so he will get past it then, but
Duncan
just,
will, but Jason will lose any chance of trying to put pressure on Aaron Altmaier or Hudson Poole coming off the restart.
and why is that?
Oh,
He's
sorry,
going
no,
to be
one
right
more lap.
behind him now.
No, one more lap of safety car. You're right. So no,
Yeah.
they'll go back.
Alright. Well, bit of a mishap from the admin of this league, the founder actually. Um, you know, he'll be back. He's onto the soft tire now. I have no idea what this
Softs.
guy is doing. Uh, maybe he's gonna try go with these tires and extend to where everyone else will be pitting, so he'll pit with
Yeah, that might
everyone
be it.
else.
That might be it. Right now, it essentially puts him on the same pit strategy as the other guys, except he has fresh softs, and he'll try to fight from P20.
Yeah, and right now I just have to point out that our net race leader is Freddie Razzle.
It is, yeah,
And
including the drive-through, and he's on medium tire, and those are going to go a little bit longer now because we had a couple laps on safety car.
yeah, it's just up to how much Freddie can extend these medium tire stints because, I mean, it's very worth it. The hard tire is a very great tire, but, you know, obviously the medium's going to be faster, so as long as Freddie can stay on these tires, then he'll have the advantage that he has right now. And Duncan McCamick is catching up to the pack now. Safety car in the slap, doesn't care about Duncan catching up to the field at all. And slowing down, Luke Locklear. He's going to lead us for the safety car restart. And I wondered, compared to everyone else that I've seen so far, in Division 3 we had a lot of people going late on the safety car restart. And some through the chicane, sorry, what line will he choose? I mean, he's got a drive-through penalty. He's got nothing to lose. I mean, no matter what he does, there's not really anything that will be very important. We'll go on board with Freddie Razzle to see when and how much it catches out Freddie Razzle on the safety car restart. Looks like he goes now. No, he doesn't. There he
There it
goes.
is.
And yeah, so he's going to be away by about 4 tenths. Freddie Razzle dumping the battery. Does he want to make this move happen so early? I know it doesn't matter though, because Luke Locklear is dumping his battery as well. Cal with Lewis Piper right behind him. No moves going to be happening there. No one side by side except for the Red Bull and the Aston Martin of Hudson Poole. And actually, no, that's now Quinn and Kay. Did he clear 2 cars in one go? That's what I'm wondering right now. With the Red Bull, the championship leader, getting a lot of positions off the safety restart.
Yeah, not too much action on the restart. It looked pretty clean. Luke Locklear dumping the battery, but he's going to have to come in and serve that drive-through. It's tricky, though. He probably wants the field to spread out as much as possible, I guess, but he's got to serve that in, what is it, the first 3 laps? Nathan, I think
Yes.
he's got to do that.
Yep.
All right, so Freddie Razzle will hang on. DRS will start in 3 laps. You got to maintain that 1-second gap. Medium tire runners now probably looking to extend their stint a little bit. See how that works out. Cam Board maybe putting some pressure on Maxime Beaulieu here. That gap is shrinking. It's just under 4 tenths.
Listen, right now the field is pretty much as it remained from the start. Actually, that's not true at all. It changed a lot from the start. But in comes Luke Locklear, I believe. No, he stays out. Will he just try to wait for this field to break up as much as possible, as Orel Hewis has gotten a penalty for multiple warnings? I'm guessing that is related to track limits. But right now, I'm actually looking at Cal. He's got a 5-second time penalty, which will drop him to around P12, at least from right now. And that's not what you want to see. He'll serve it in his next pit stop, so hopefully then by then he'll have enough time gained on everyone else so it's not too effective on him. But at the moment, everyone's just kind of keeping their distance, waiting for the right moment, waiting for everyone else to make mistakes around them. And hopefully we have a great race on our hands, because I don't know. As Hudson Poole is actually going down the inside of the Mercedes of Major Castleman. Major going for the switchback, gets it done very cleanly. What a great switchback from the Mercedes. But Hudson Poole is still very close, makes a bit of contact with the
Ooh.
Mercedes.
He did make a little bit of contact there. Hudson got a little loose, it looked like, too. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make this move happen on Major Castleman. Not in a turn 9, that's for sure, but definitely some trains starting to form. We'll have DRS in the next lap. That might shake up the field a little bit. But Freddie Razzle, unable to pass Luke Locklear right now for P1, but Luke seemed to be coming into the pit, so he's probably biding his time, right? Why fight? Just kind of get dragged along a little bit, save some ERS. He'll be in striking distance soon enough. DRS now enabled on the lap. Hop in with Era, who should have DRS on Peter Giordano here.
No,
Oh no, it'll hit next lap.
And Hudson Poole, definitely the fastest car on track right now. Maybe you could say other than his Red Bull. Oh, what has happened here
Oh,
with
he took it a little
Hudson
wide. He's
Poole?
in the gravel.
What an interesting moment from our championship leader,
Yeah.
making too many mistakes, and Duncan McCamick's now maybe challenging him. I was going to say the fastest car, but fastest car don't make mistake normally. But a mistake was made. That will be crucial to the race of Hudson Poole. And his teammate behind him, he's been the fastest car right now. He's on the soft tire, the newest soft tires of everyone. And he's not been able to make this work.
No, he hasn't
still
been
in
able to
last.
keep pace.
And look at this huge DRS train from Hewis. Sorry to interrupt. I wonder if maybe Eric McNerney can get interested. No, because he's got 10% battery. It's not even close to what he needs. Right now, I'm going to look if we have anything in the standings. Of course, the 2 Red Bulls having the worst day of their lives, 19th and 20th.
Tough day.
Aston Martin, yeah, definitely going to overtake that. But I'm wondering, can the other teams maybe take a bite at Oh, yeah, Luke Locklear takes the pit and the drive-through penalty. Sorry about that. Luke Locklear going to be last now. Not what he needs in terms of the title battle. His good friend and teammate Major Castleman will be going forward. Maybe making an overtake on Eric Carvalho. Doesn't go down the inside there. But look at this DRS train still. You're just losing so much time if you're behind Hughes right now. And you're
Yeah,
very happy if you're ahead of him.
it's a monster train right now. Yeah, there's a 2-second gap now between Orel Hewitt in P10 and Chase Wilson in P9. Quietly, Eric McNerney's having a nice day so far in the McLaren. He's up to P11 on the hard tire strat, as is his teammate, fellow reserve D3 driver, or sorry, D2 rather, Colin Edwards. So the McLaren's looking pretty strong with some reserve drivers, but Colin is past 1
Ooh.
second ahead of Maxime Beaulieu. He won't be able to
Jason
make
Pelter
anything
and
happen right now.
Hudson
Oh!
Poole is out of the race, I think. No, he's not. Okay, he had major collision with, yeah, he's wing damage, and there's the Quentin K in the Williams as well. I just saw that.
Wow.
Jason Pelter and Hudson Poole had a huge collision, and that is race over effectively for Hudson Poole and Quentin K. Maybe even Jason Pelter. No, Jason Pelter doesn't have any damage, but I saw that in the perfect view, and that is not what you want to see at all.
No, we're on with Hudson now. He's missing his right end plate on the front wing. He'll have to come in and change it. Duncan looks like he got through that unscathed. Jason didn't have wing damage. Marcel Green comes to pit. He's on the 13-lap-old medium, so first one of the medium tire runners to come in and pit. There's Hudson pitting for damage. I wonder if Quinton will follow suit, and Hudson just went and retired.
Yep, bit of a rage quit, and here comes Major Castleman on the Aston Martin of Aaron Allmeyer. Will be able to make this move stick. Ahead of us, we see Peter Giordano, Pipsqueak as I call him, trying to overtake Eric McNerney. Does he make the move happen? No, he doesn't at all. But a bit more battery on the Ferrari. But still, in this DRS train, you just have to make moves happen or you're not going to get anywhere. Because right now, that is exactly what we're seeing. Aaron Allmeyer stays ahead of Major Castleman just a bit longer. Major trying to scare him off a little bit off his line. Goes for DRS. I don't think he'll be making any move here, but that happens. And so far, still the same. Great drama for our championship leader. At the moment, there's no one who can take his lead away, but definitely going to be taking quite a bit out of it is everyone.
Yeah, a lot of action here in the midfield following Hewitt's DRS train. A lot of people trying to make some moves as quick as they can. Era's putting pressure on Peter Giordano. Aaron Altmaier's putting pressure too. Maxime Beaulieu and Orel Hewitt are going into pit now. So open air now for Eric McNerney. But he won't be able to fight off Peter or Era for a few more laps. They're conserving battery nicely. Eric, a notorious ERS abuser, is currently flashing in P8 on 14-lap-old hard tires.
And look at this battle between Major Castleman and Duncan McCamick. Mercedes and the Red Bull, two very well-known rivals. And Duncan McCamick on the soft tires, making them work as much as he needs to. And there's a lot of action involved between Major Castleman. He was in a fight with, I believe it was Jason Pelter through the chicane where you cannot go too wide. And I don't know. Oh, what has happened? Cal is out of the race.
Yellow in sector 2. Cal is out of the race.
Safety car, full safety car.
Oh, wow. So he went into turn 9 himself a little bit hot. The Alpha Tauri is gone. A new safety car. Look at that. Duncan finds himself up to P12. Eric Carvalho back up to P9 after pitting super early himself after the initial safety car. Too bad you don't have two sets of hards, otherwise that'll fit into his strategy quite nicely. Now, could drivers be thinking about, yeah, I guess they are. You can go 18 laps on mediums here, I guess, right? They're going to do it.
And this has worked out perfectly for the man that we knew would take a gamble. He went to Las Vegas and he has profited because Eric Carvalho is in the lead of the race once again.
Oh, tough penalty for Eric. He gets a speeding in pit lane penalty. That's a whole 5 seconds. Yeah, essentially the entire field pit. So Duncan did make those soft tires work, though. Look, he pit when he was in P12, and he was back in P20. So a couple incidents happened. I know that, but look, he made them work. And oh, how about this, Nathan? Eric McNerney, soft tires.
I think that might just be a strategy blunder. Maybe he's going, oh no, I didn't change my tires when I pit. But either way, he has a penalty. So not really gonna help him too much.
No,
But
and
still,
now he won't have any hope of getting that removed, right? If there is even grounds to do so, because he's going to have to pit again to get back on a medium set. So an interesting call from the reserve driver in the McLaren right now.
yeah, I mean, okay, so right now, you have two drivers in great positions. If I was you, me personally, I'd tell Marc-Olivier Bastien to get a move on, overtake these two drivers, and defend for Era for all his life, because Era is going to be in the most danger. He's going to be like Charles Leclerc at the Silverstone Grand Prix,
Yep.
and he's going to be a sitting duck on these used hard tires with everyone behind him on fresh tires. So far, the best chance at the win, in my opinion, is either Marc-Olivier Bastien or, oh, what has happened here in the back? Sorry about that.
Oh man.
Major Castleman and Duncan McCamick having a bit of a tough moment, to say the least.
Is there
No
wing damage on
wing.
Major Cat? No wing.
No wing on the Mercedes. I mean, these guys have had bad blood, so much bad blood in the past. I think this might just be the tipping point for something huge. Not predicting anything, of course, because I don't condone that kind of, whatever you could call it. As who is Pitt? Oh, Nova Pitt. Why did he pit? Does he have wing
Nova pit
damage?
now, maybe. Some sloppy driving under safety car, perhaps. I'm not sure. Duncan pitting as well. I'm not sure.
No damage for
Did
Nova.
Cap- And then Jason Pelter with a severe penalty for hitting ORL Hewis.
Yes, no wing on Jason Pelter.
What is going on? Is it a Delta thing or what? There is
Oh,
just
what is
chaos in the front straight under safety car.
wing damage for Jason Pelter?
Yep.
I'm not sure if we have any wing damage with Hewis here. No, it doesn't look like it. Nothing on Maxime. What is going on in the safety car? I'd say we've had less dangerous incidents normal racing than we've had under safety cars, so
Yeah, we have.
interesting. And interesting enough, the two Williams swapping positions under safety car. I'm not really sure what's happening there. I don't even know if that's legal, honestly. But I don't have the context. And it looks like
Maybe
people...
tire strategy. Maybe they're deferring the fresh tires of Marcel Green to the 11-lap full tires of Quentin K. But with the pace we've seen from Quentin K, I'd take him on the 8-lap older tires. He's just been incredible.
Yeah, but I just can't see where that's legal in the rules, because I don't know, it just says that you cannot overtake under safety car. And if it was done intentionally, I'm really not sure about that. But hey, I'm not a steward, I don't make the rules here. And I think we might have safety car in this lap. Yes, we do.
It is.
Eric Carvalho will lead us through the safety car restart. I'm gonna hop on board with Freddie Razzle because he has the best chance of maximizing whatever happens here. Hopefully it goes for the good of Eric Carvalho, because I've seen Era do a race and he's been very clean. So safety car restart. Era takes the launch very nicely, gets a nice wide line out of the chicane.
Yeah.
Great launch. 5/10 is the margin. Both drivers deploying their battery. And look at Lewis Piper. He's gotten a great run on Freddie Razzle. Will he go down the inside? He's going to try. He definitely has all the guts that he needs. Goes down the inside. Cuts Freddie off just a little bit. And that is a move for P2 that will be crucial for Ferrari in their title fight. And Peter Giordano may be in a bit of a tangle as well. No damage yet, but pretty close driving. Cam Bourne he's been all over the place this race, hasn't he?
He's
And now
suddenly in P5.
he's going to follow. Yeah, he's in P5. And Luke Locklear is going around the outside of Peter Giordano into this little hairpin here. Very nice move from the Mercedes driver.
Clean. That was super clean. We saw some crispy moves. Luke on Peter Giordano there.
Marcel
And
Green.
Marcel Green had an incident.
I don't think he has damage. I can't see because the camera angle is just terrible, but not what you want to see at all. It doesn't look
No.
like he has damage from what I can see.
Back in the front,
But-
on with Lewis Piper, who's putting pressure on Eric Carvalho for P1 in the race. He gets a good exit out of turn 16. Here he comes. Eric got a good one as well. Lewis is going to start dumping. He's got the better tire strategy. Eric goes defensive. Is Lewis going to try to make it happen here going into turn 1? He's starting to run out of space. He takes a peek along the inside. No. He's going to cut back in and wait for another day, but The pressure is on. Let's check battery real quick. Era's about 56, Lewis at 41. So it's a lot. Pretty close. But I think you're right. We need Marc-Olivier Bastien to get past Freddie and start
Whoa.
putting some pressure on
Lewis
Lewis.
Piper is trying to make a move on Eric Carvalho here. He's been side by side. Is he going to try and make it around the outside here? Simply doesn't have the traction, even though he does have the better tires. And this is not what Era needs at all. It's making him be a bit closer to the rest of the back, and that is just not what he needs, again, at all. Maybe a move from Lewis Piper, no thinks better of it. DRS will be enabled next lap, but we won't see it on this straight. And so far, pretty
pure battery.
clean. Do we have any moves happening? It looks like Eric McNerney is getting very close to Aaron Altmaier. Not close enough, and through Sector 3, I just don't see a way that you can overtake here. Let's see the run that Lewis Piper may get on Eric Carvalho.
We'll have it with him. Ooh, did Eric get a little bit loose getting out of turn 16? Maybe. I think it definitely affected his exit speed. Lewis Piper is closing that gap. DRS now enabled with no battery. He's going to make that almost look really clean. Now he puts the battery on. Is it too late? He can't gain enough ground on Era. I think Era dumped a little bit because he had the battery advantage, and now it's gone. They're about even on battery. Oh! Coming into turn 3, Lewis Piper getting really aggressive on the inside. Is he going to make this pass? This would be a fantastic overtake if he can make it stick. He goes along the inside of turn 4. He's got the traction, and it happens. Lewis Piper now in P1.
But not yet. Era's fighting back. I think it'll be pretty easy said and done from the Ferrari driver. Deploying the battery is Eric Carvalho. He wants this to happen, and he has lost out. But he will have DRS on this next straight. I don't think he's close enough at all to get this to happen. He's losing time all across that right-hander, and that is pretty much that all said and done. As will the Alfa Romeo of Marc-Olivier Bastien make a move on Freddie Razzle. It doesn't look like he will, but he got very close. Let's hop on board with Marc-Olivier Bastien. Such a long name, honestly, but
Yeah.
will he get a great run on Freddie Razzle down the straight? He's 3/10. He wants to back up his teammate because Era's crying for help here. Will he be able to make this move happen? He's got 5/10 of a gap. He got a better run. Great exit from the Alfa Romeo driver,
Great exit,
but will
yeah.
it be enough?
Now the
I think
gap
it
is
will be.
closing. Oh, let's see.
Look at that. What?
Oh, he backed out. He backed out maybe a little early there, Nathan. I don't know. I thought he could have had that.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard my my confusion, because that is why would you back out of that? You had it done, and Eric McNerney is trying to get this move done on Peter Giordano. Make a little bit of contact, but he does stay ahead for a bit longer on the soft tires with a penalty. Doesn't matter. He's gonna race, and whatever it takes for that.
Eric McNerney already on 8% battery, man. He loves to use that thing as quick as he can. He gets a little loose there in turn 5 as he approaches, or sorry, that was turn 8 rather, as he approaches the hard right-hander in turn 9, trying to hold off Peter Giordano. Lewis Piper has already built up a 1.3-second gap to Eric Carvalho as Peter Giordano gets a track limit penalty. But yeah, I think you're right. So Marc-Olivier Bastien is trying to get up to help his teammate as quick as he can.
What
There's
has happened?
Yellow, Aaron Altmaier and Quentin K.
Yes, and another driver going off. Who was that?
I saw Aaron Altmaier, I saw Quentin K.
No, that must have been it. Sorry. Two very important drivers in this race have gone off.
Yeah,
And it doesn't look like Marc-Olivier Bastien will be able to make a move, but Peter Giordano will be able to make a move on Eric McNerney. Look at the straight line speed difference. Into P8, the Ferrari goes.
I think Peter used some battery there, knowing that Eric didn't have the battery himself to try to fight later on. Peter Giordano done some of his. He's got 30% remaining. But he's on fresh 6-lap old medium tires, and he'll start trying to cut the gap with Luke Locklear in P7.
And Quentin K making it past Orel Hewis. This is actually a pretty close battle. Will Hewis be able to make it past? No, he will not. Went for a little bit of switchback, just simply wasn't enough in the end, as we have another yellow flag. That is Nova in the AlphaTauri. And so far, the field is kind of staying the same. Era really hasn't lost too much time to Freddie. Not in the DRS yet is Freddie, but look how aggressive Marc-Olivier Bastien is getting on this line here. Not what
Yeah,
I
well,
would do. I would just set it up for the exits, and that's not what he's been doing.
well, he's also trying to defend from the Alpine of Cam Bourne, who is hot on his tail. That gap was as low as 1.8 tenths. Going into the main straight here is Cam Bourne, and they're going to dump some battery and try to make a move. He's got the DRS open. He's not draining anything. He's got 65% battery remaining. Marc-Louis Bastien at a similar battery level, but they're kind of biding their time. It didn't look like he was trying to put pressure on Freddie at all.
As Eric McNerney may be having a moment, no, he gets overtaken by Maxime Bolio, and that is crucial for Aston Martin trying to get back on Red Bull. Day where they can easily get back to the constructors' win here, but so far they're just barely ahead of them in the points. But right now, Freddie Razzle hasn't been able to make up any time to Era, who is on way slower tires, and now that's inviting everyone behind him to kind of get behind him and maybe win. I'm
It's,
seeing Marc-Louis Bastion going wide in the same corner so many times. Maybe he's found a bit of a exploit to get past that track limit, but it's fine. As long as he's not gaining a significant advantage from it, I'm fine with it.
it
And
seemed
doesn't
like
make
it.
any mistakes.
Yeah, Freddie, though, although Era is on the 10-lap-old harder tires, Freddie's had a little bit of trouble closing that gap. He's still not within DRS range of Eric Carvalho, and he's staying within that 1.2, 1.3 seconds on a few laps in a row now. Let's hop in with
Ooh,
Mark.
here's Mark. It's just not good enough at the moment. Freddie dumping his battery. Oh, he's closing though. Will he go for an ambitious move down the inside? Yes, he will. What
Whoa, he
a late
outbraked
breaking
him,
moment.
too.
Freddie going into the back of the Alfa Romeo, making a bit of contact. Doesn't like that dive bomb that he's seen. The Haas has to concede to this Alfa Romeo. Cam Bourne maybe looking to pick up the scraps of this fight, not doing anything at the moment. No other moves really being made on track, but what a great move down the inside to make it an Alfa Romeo 2-3. And like I said earlier, now what Marco Bastion has to do, he has to really back up everyone behind him because that will be the best case scenario for Alfa Romeo to make it a 2-3. I'm not quite sure where your team sits in the constructors standings, but wherever it is, I'm sure it will be improved quite a bit.
It could be improved. I know for D1 we're pretty strong because these drivers are top tier, but they could help carry us from the midfield to the top teams here. Moving on, Freddie Rizal still within DRS range of Marc-Louis Bastien. I'm wondering when these crossover points are going to be. I think that Eric McNerney and Jason Pelter may start to struggle on the soft tires very soon, but between the mediums and the hards, the mediums are able to get to the end of the race, right? So what is that point, you think, Nathan? Could it be lap 10, lap 11? Or are we here now? Is Freddie's hard tires going to start to be better than Marc-Louis Bastien's in like a lap or two?
Well, I think that maybe yes, but Eric McNerney came into the pits for his soft tires, so that's for sure. And Major Castleman has slid past the Aston Martin of Maxime Bolio. But yeah, back to the tires. Right now, I'd say both tires are kind of equal right now, but slowly the hard tires will start to gain their advantage on the medium tire runners. But right now, I don't think we're quite at that point. I think the medium tires can run on a full fueled car about 13 laps at the most, but we're not at full fuel anymore. We're at about 30%, so I think we'll have a lot more life in these medium tires than we would have seen before. As that's a yellow flag for Quinn and K, I believe. Not a major yellow flag because we got going again. No safety car or virtual. And so far, everything is quite clean. I'm looking at Cam Bourne. He's still staying very close behind his teammate. Not his teammate, sorry, Freddie Razzle. And Freddie Razzle has dropped back significantly from the back of Marc-Louis Bastien.
Let's hop in with Cam Bourne here down the main straight as he finishes up Sector 3, following the Haas of Freddie Rizal very closely. That gap is currently around 4 tenths rather. Cam Bourne now with about 70% battery, and he's going to start to dump. Quick battery check on Freddie Rizal. He doesn't have as much. He's got about 20%. He's got to fight off Cam. He's coming quick. That battery light is crashing. Cam moves to the inside. He's going to make this pass clean. Cam Bourne in P4.
Yeah, no contact from the two drivers like we saw last lap. Was it last lap, actually? That would have been a huge gap to make. As we actually see, is that the Mercedes of Luke Locklear maybe getting a bit close to the back of Colin Edwards, the reserve driver from Alpine. He's doing such a great job right now. I just have to commend him for that.
Yeah, great job for Colin Edwards right now. He is 3 tenths now behind Freddie Rizal for top 5 on 10-lap old medium tires. Should be good to go 7 laps. the rest of the way. But Cam Bourne now in a pretty good position. If that crossover point hits, he could have the tire advantage on Marc-Louis Bastien and be closing in on DRS range. I like where I'm at if I'm Cam Bourne.
Yeah, I'm just having a few thoughts right now because honestly, I don't know. I have a crazy prediction just to put it out there. I think Era with his hard tires will somehow have an advantage because Lewis Piper is not really pulling away from him right now. And if the hard tires end up outlasting the medium tires, which I don't know, 17 laps is quite a stretch for the medium tires, no matter what fuel you're on. Actually, it's Colin Edwards going to make a move on Freddie Razzle here. He's got the battery, he's got the DRS, he's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Freddie Razzle has lost 3 positions in 3 laps.
Wow. Man, that hard medium strategy is really reigning supreme so far, at least for the battles up towards the podium spots. Freddie Razzle's gone from P3 to P6 in probably less than 5 laps, and now he's got to fight with both Mercedes of Luke Locklear and Major Castleman with little to no battery to work with. There's a yellow in Sector 2. Someone's around. That's Marcel Green?
Marcel Green. He's got back running though, so I think we'll be fine. Listen, I don't tell you what to do here, but right now I'd be telling you to swap your drivers around because in the title fight, Marc-Louis Bastien needs these points just a little bit, even if it's 3 points. He needs it a bit more than against Eric Carvalho because his rivals right now, Kyle Blevins, Cal, they're out of the race, and so Maxime Beaulieu is his next rival, and he's right now 8 points behind him, and he has it right now, so he just needs to get as many points as he can, and that'll put him up to 4th, maybe even 5th, or no, sorry, not 5th, 3rd or 2nd even in the constructors battle, in the drivers battle. And it looks like you don't even need to tell him that because Marc-Louis Bastien is making it past his teammate.
It's happening. Yeah, if I could get out of the booth and give them some strategy, I would, but it turns out they don't need it. Marc-Louis Bastien takes P2. Now, same tier tire strategy as Lewis Piper. They're both on 12-lap-old mediums. It'll be up to Eric Carvalho on the 22-lap-old hard tires to hold off a charging Cam Bourne if he's going to secure a double Alfa Romeo podium. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, I gotta say, you do have a bit of a thorn in your side coming your way because Cam Bourne has way better tires than both of these drivers ahead of him. He's gaining a lot of time through this first sector here. I know, I'd tell him to be careful. I don't know, I mean, of course it makes sense to swap the drivers, but at the same time, Era's kind of in a vulnerable position here.
He is, yeah. You know, if I was to play strategist right here with the Alpha guys, I probably would have asked Marc and Era to hold off for as long as, you know, if Marc could have saved battery and just been drug along with DRS from Era for a couple laps, I would have tried to maximize that. That way they both gonna have the battery moving forward to fight with either Cam or Colin or even Lewis Piper, right? But look,
And that's
these guys
exactly
are
what
in the
they're
cockpit,
doing. What
and they
is
just
happening?
do another switch here too. I don't know if Era just got a lot better of an exit or maybe they just thought different of their strategy. I'm not sure. But now, Marc-Louis Bastien may be in a susceptible position. He has no DRS. Cam Bourne charging up the inside. Thinks a little bit better of it, but I don't know if that was a strategy call, man. I gotta be honest. Not sure what they're thinking. I know they're in chat together.
I honestly wouldn't have done that because it's way too late now. It is wild to swap the positions right there. Like when you have a car 9/10 behind you, look where it's put you. And he didn't have DRS down that straight either, so they knew that he would be vulnerable, but they still did it. So I'm hoping that it was an error and it wasn't intentional, but either way, it's up to Marc-Louis Bastien to secure this Alfa Romeo 1-2. Maybe they swap positions right at the end because maybe they're charging battery up for Marc-Louis Bastien. Actually, maybe that's the plan here.
Could be, yeah, because I know he'll still have DRS on Era going too. So let's check in. Era has 14%. Marc has 13. So they're pretty low. Cam Bourne's got about double the amount of battery that they have. He's sitting at 32. So let's hop in with him here on the front stretch to see if he wants to make a move. He gets a good, oh no, he goes a little bit squirrely at the end of turn 16. And that's going to eliminate any possibility of Cam Bourne probably passing Marc-Louis Bastien unless he dumps his battery. But I don't think that'd be efficient, Nathan. I think he's going to sit this lap back.
Yeah, I mean, it was going so well. He definitely would have had that move in his pocket. What has happened here? Sorry.
Oh, it looked
You
like
saw that too, right?
Yeah, I hopped out with Freddie for a second. I thought I saw Colin over in the gravel. but then he jumped back in. So Freddie was putting some pressure on him as Major Castleman put the move on his teammate Luke Locklear. It takes P7 as the Mercedes switch cars around, but yeah, for a second I thought Colin was out of it and Freddie was in P5.
Yeah, well, what you didn't see is both Alfa Romeos go wide and Era went all the way into the gravel. I'm so glad that was just a game issue, because if that had happened, that would have been the best for Alpine, but the worst for you. And I don't want to hear the words that would come out of your mouth if that would happen, but I guess we're fine right now.
I guess we're okay. Yeah, usually I'm pretty composed in the booth too if something happens with my drivers on lawn, but man, after last week and then here now, we're currently looking at a double podium. Let's just keep going. Camborne here at the end of Sector 3. We'll see it. There's another yellow. It's Lewis Piper.
Will this be
had a moment.
1-2?
Era takes the lead of the race. Marc-Olivier Bastien in P3, but he's got the run on Lewis Piper, and he's got DRS. He's definitely better. He goes on the outside of turn 1. Let's see if he makes it here. Hard braking zone. He's on the tail of his teammate. Lewis Piper pushes Marc-Olivier Bastien wide. Saw that really loudly on broadcast. I don't know if then all of a sudden Camborne coming on the right. Who is that on the left now? Is that Lewis?
Yes,
I'm trying to commentate that, Nathan. That was interesting
Lewis
driving.
Piper had to give back the position, and
yeah,
I have to say that was an incredibly dangerous rejoin from Marc-Olivier Bastien. He pushed Camborne off the track, and by a very significant margin. So now 3 cars turn into 8, and this fight will continue on for the rest of the race. 2 laps. Era from out of nowhere is in the lead of this race. Lewis Piper is looking to maximize what he can out of his mistakes. Freddie Razzle gets a 3-second time penalty. He's going to drop him to P8.
That's devastating with those gaps here, Nathan, because everyone's so close. Jason Pelder just puts up the fastest lap of 118, 182. 2 laps to go. Era's got a 2-second gap on Marc-Olivier Bastien, who's currently in P2, fighting off a charging Lewis Piper after an incident in turn 15 and 16.
Yeah, I mean, just like me in Division 3, he was leading by 3 seconds, and then he just remembered LeBron's famous quote. He knew that he just had a little bit of an incident, and that's exactly what happened. So he needs to make this move on P2 right now.
He does
What
it. Ooh,
the heck is that?
He ghosted a little bit. It looks like he was going to go right into him, but he ghosted. That was weird. Do you think that could have been a strategic pause?
I mean, that would be one of the wildest things I've ever seen in the league race.
It looked like he was going right into his gearbox, and then all of a sudden ghosted. So Lewis Piper lives to fight another day. We're on the penultimate lap here. Leo Carvalho with a 1.7-second gap on his teammate Marc-Olivier Bastien, both ahead of Lewis Piper in P3.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do the math right now. At the moment, your drivers are gaining 63 points, which is way more than enough to put them into P1 in the constructors' standings. But of course, the main problem is, can they keep it together here? Because Lewis Piper, he has nothing to lose at this point.
He's got nothing to lose.
It's his second race for Ferrari here, third race actually, and this is all that matters for him. As Duncan McCamick spins around, he's having a great recovery drive, and it looks like he only lost 1 position off of it. But this is a final overtaking spot for Lewis Piper on Marc-Olivier Bastien. Marc knows that he needs to deploy his battery, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He will stay ahead into turn 1.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have it. He didn't have the exit enough to do it.
Oh, and look at Major Castleman on the inside of Freddie Razzle. Will he be able to make this move happen? Freddie has a penalty already, so it doesn't matter. Pushing him around in the inside, going down the inside now is Major Castleman. There's no gap there, but he makes it happen anyway. He's going to go around the outside. He has the right tires. And Freddie Razzle stays ahead, but he still has a penalty, so yeah, that's going to be an overtake for Major Castleman off track. But right now, look at what has happened. Era slowing down to give his teammate DRS in this final braking zone. Very smart from the Alfa Romeo strategy team. But Alfa Romeo are on their way to... They have only 4 corners to go.
We're happy right now, Nathan. We're happy. Let's leave it at that. We only got like 5 turns left to go here. Lewis Piper putting a lot of pressure on Marc-Olivier Bastien, but there's only the end of Sector 3 to go. They come around turn 14, 15, and 16. Era's looking to get a good exit for the final lap of the race. He made 27-lap-old hard tires work. Heartbreak in Monaco, a podium was taken away, so he wins today. It's a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo. Eric Carvalho, Marc Bastien take the double podium, followed by Lewis Piper in the Ferrari, bringing up P3. A hard fought battle by Cam Bourne in P4. He was sniffing a podium for the last 5 laps, and Colin Edwards rounds out the top 5. The ending was incredible. That was awesome.
The moment I saw that there was a yellow flag and there was a Ferrari just slightly out of position on the track, I knew that we were in for the best ending of this race, and we got exactly that. And I believe I'm safe to say Alfa Romeo are the Division 1 constructors leaders right now. I don't know why I said it like that. You made it sound like I was about to say they were the winners, but no, they have work to do. And if they keep this form, this momentum, and this confidence, then they can definitely sort out some good results in the future.
Yeah, they look good. I'm going to call them into the booth now. I think
Get
what
both of
we're
them
gonna
within
do,
one.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think we should do, man. Is let's get Lewis in first, and then we'll get both Alfa Romeo drivers in at the same time. They could talk some strategy and how that was going.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
What a crazy race.
That was intense. That was intense. That was a lot of action. Love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell that you were getting nervous because you told me to just stop talking, or at least and stop giving the commentator's curse a chance at doing what it does best.
Yeah,
In the
I didn't
final
mean to.
sector.
Exactly. I didn't want to cut you off like that, Nathan. Sorry, Nathan. But I wanted to call it, and I wanted I didn't want any commentator's curse or anything like that, because dude, we were disappointed with Monaco, right? Era run a great race. He killed it, and then he wanted to come back strong with this one. So, and Alfa Romeo won too, man. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, Alfa Romeo, a team that definitely deserves it. I mean, you're a great guy, and Alfa Romeo team is such a great team. So, great result for the Alfa Romeo, the team based in Italy, the team with a Canadian and a Brazilian driver. Exactly what they need this weekend.
Love it. So we are going to get Lewis Piper in for an interview. I think it says it's 4 a.m. where he's at. So where is he? Is he in Australia or no?
He's in here.
He's in the UK.
He's Scottish, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Let's bring him in. Hey, Lewis, you're in the booth, man. Welcome. Congrats on a P3. Thought you had a shot at everything there today. What happened? What was the lap 30 or whatever in turn 16, man? Just a little moment.
Yeah, just touched the yellow curb on the last corner and spun. But yeah, I'm not actually that mad because obviously I got lucky to be there in the first place with Luke's penalty and Cal and things like that. So it's just life. It was my mistake. So
Yeah, it was a ton of action, man. Look, I know it's late, kind of where you're at now. Did you think you had a good shot at putting pressure on Mark and Eric at the end after it, or was it pretty much you knew they had it after the incident?
after the incident, on the run down to turn 1, I hit Vost anyway, just because I was being stupid. So I probably would have gave the position back either way because I almost cost him a position, so it wasn't really fair for me to overtake.
Right.
And also I just didn't have the ERS after that to get past, so yeah.
Yeah, awesome job, man, Lewis. I'll let you go here because I know it's late where you're at, but dude, two races in now with Ferrari. You got a P2 and a P3, so it's looking good, man. Maybe we'll see you here next week.
Yeah. Right. See you.
Thanks, man.
All
All right,
right.
Nathan, let's go ahead and bring both of them in here. Era, we got you. Mark, we got you. And Alfa Romeo 1-2, guys. Congratulations. That was awesome to call.
Hey, I'm not surprised,
fun.
motherfuckers.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's go. So, guys, obviously we're following you all the entire race, right? Era, you had really intriguing strategy call to pit super early once that safety car came around. Did you run anything kind of with the extended hard tires? Were you that confident they could make the end and you can keep pace?
I think I had the bad call. I should not have stopped on the first safety car. My tires by the end was 80.
Wow.
I was telling Mark, hold him down, Mark. My tires are almost on hitting the puncture range. Please hold him down. But my pace was the best pace of anyone today. My pace was unbelievable. Was really really good. When I just practiced the time trial, I was uh, already aware that I had a very very strong pace on the track. Very strong qualifying. My qualifying could be had the pole position, but I messed at sector 3. I almost spun on sector 3 on my last lap.
Good
I
thing you
lost like
didn't.
2 tenths. And yeah, what I can say, justice for Monaco. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Mark, we saw you guys invert the positions. It kind of looked like you guys inverted twice, kind of towards the end. It was maybe in like around lap 28, and then again before Lewis's incident. Was that on purpose, or were you guys just like fighting it out? What was going on there?
The first one was on purpose, but the second one I hit too much curb on the outside. So I was lucky to still be P3 just behind Era at the end of the straight. And at the end, Piper also did probably the same thing as me, going too much on the curb on the outside. And we were able to both of us able to overtake him. That was set for 1-2.
Yeah,
I mean, right when Lewis Piper had that moment, you both knew. You had to know that that was your best moment. And from there, I mean, you guys just sailed through. I mean, a bit of an incident into turn 1 and 2, a bit of an unsafe rejoin, at least I would say. But I'm happy for both of you. Great job on the 1-2. Anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I just want to add that I'm really thanks for Mark. He's a really, really great teammate that I could not ask for a better teammate. And this race, we raced it together. We swapped positions when we had to. We worked together, and it paid off by the end with 1-2. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, nothing much to say. You said it all.
yeah, I appreciate you both, you guys. If I could put my team principal hat really on right now, kind of instead of my broadcaster one, we were pissed after Monaco, right? We had a podium that felt like it kind of slipped through our fingers like sand. Um, and I know, and to Mark at Monaco, a controller at Monaco is near impossible. So I'm super happy for you guys to come out here in Spain and kill it. And it was super fun for me in the booth to call you guys on this race. So Silverstone next week here. Look, can I get another 1-2? What do you guys feel about it?
We will try, but ZRL is so much competitive. I remember in quali I did little mistake, and I was P9 on a lap that could have given me P2. So if we had such a good race pace like today, maybe it will be all right to get another double podium next week. But I don't think that will happen every week.
Yeah, Era, what do you think? How do you feel about Britain?
Well, I don't know about the next week, the next race, because I had an event to practice for. So maybe my next. I think what's the next race, please?
Next race is Silverstone, and then the one after that is Austria, and that's going to be a sprint race weekend.
Yeah, I really don't know if I will have a good performance on the next maybe 1 or 2 races because of the event I thought. But I'll give my best as I always do, of course.
Well, look, man,
So let's see.
yeah, let's see. If your best is anything close to what it was today, then I really like our chances. So, Era, Mark, thanks so much for everything tonight. You guys looked incredible. Um, yeah, another thing, yeah, Nathan, if you're good, man,
I'm good.
wrapping up an incredible race tonight here in Spain. So bring you guys back to the waiting room here. Um, dude, I don't think we could have asked for more in terms of action on a track that typically doesn't have a lot of overtaking, right? This was incredible. This is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even an Alfa Romeo driver, but I'm so proud of those two for finally coming back after what was a terrible weekend at Monaco. Justice for Monaco, justice for Alfa Romeo, and I think I don't want to say it just yet, but I think they're P1 right now. So great job to your team, great job to you in the commentary booth today, great job to your two drivers for just being the best. And that's it for tonight. Great job, everyone. We'll see you. Great job, everyone. I said. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week in Silverstone.
Yeah, Nathan, thank you for filling in for John Ranger, man. I think you did an incredible job. Love being in the booth with you. We'll see you all next week. Thanks.